earlier, if you noticed earlier, we couldn't open the demo CP. That's because it was .opx. So I wasn't able to open .opx on Orihime because OPX is the Oripa. But then I did save, and so I saved the caret thing onto the OPX, and it made a new one with the .orh. So that's Orihime. That one you can open, so that's what we're open right now. So let me just clear this because I have it, anyways. And I'm going to show you some of the more advanced tools. So if you're just doing box pleating, like what I showed you earlier, should be just fine. But here's some more. These are, anyways, I'll just show you some more. So let's just go down the line. This one is, I don't know what it's called, but basically you put 2 points, and then it'll draw the line in between it. And it gets a little more complicated when you add more points. So, I mean, personally, I haven't had to use this thing yet, but that's what it does. And then to make these actual creases, you press the purple button, and then all of a sudden, these are creases, which you can delete or change the valley, whatever you like. Let me clear that. Then, what's next? Then here, this one's pretty handy. Or maybe I'll go in order of usefulness, maybe, or not. So imagine we have this. So this vertex has an odd number of creases attached to it, and that's one of the rules that it's breaking. So when you turn on this, you see that it has a pink dot. So what we can do is we can come here and press on this, and it'll give us a suggestion how to make it flat foldable. We press the purple thing, and it's in, and then we can change the value, which is pretty handy, right? If like right now it's a pretty easy thing to fix, but sometimes it's not. Like imagine my intersection looked like that, or something wacky like this. That's 5, yeah. And so then it would be pretty nice to show us, okay, if all I need to draw is just this one, I would have never guessed that. I don't know what angle that is. But now if I do it correctly, it should be flat foldable. And let's see. It's yep, there we go. So now this is flat foldable because the dot went away. So that's pretty handy. Right, delete those. Next up, no, I think this one. These two are pretty similar. This one you'll probably find a little more useful. So what it does is, if I have a crease, what it'll do is it will extend it. So I can press this thing, and then extend over here. This is the bisector, which has a what is it? The keyboard shortcut is B for bisector, and what you do is you select 3 points. The second point is going to be your vertice, and then vertex. Sorry, this is your vertex, and we're bisecting this angle here. And then we say how far it goes. So I want it to go up to this line, and there we go. So this one you can play around with. And you might notice that it doesn't actually have to go up to this line. Here it did, but if I do something like let's say like this, and then my line I select over here, it goes all the way up. So see, as if it were this line extended, and then it goes. So bisector is handy. We'll be using that. Let's see. Oh, another note. So you see how there's little points here? You can actually add them with this guy. You can just add dots all over the place, all on the lines. So whether paper edge or a mountain valley, and then you can press this one, and it'll make them all disappear. But these ones, where the points are actually needed, they stay. But it's just the useless points get cleared away. And then, or you can remove a point one at a time. So I go like that, and then I can remove it. What's next? Rabbit ear. So rabbit ear, what rabbit ear does, I select 3 points, and it will draw the rabbit ear in the triangle that's formed. Nice and simple, right? Pretty easy. We'll be using that a little bit too. Actually, most of these are pretty useful for the non-box pleating. Here's a perpendicular one. So you select a point, and then to what line is it going up to? So now I made a perpendicular here. And kind of like the extending one, it doesn't actually need to touch the line. Like, for example, if I go here and then I select this line, it's not going to touch this line, but it pretends that if this line were extended, how far, what would it go? Alright, so let's clear that. And so this is parallel tool, which is basically the same thing, except instead of being perpendicular to the line, it goes parallel to the line. I want to go this point, so where it starts, and where is it parallel to, where does it end? And so it ends over here. So then the line starts here, it's parallel to this, and it ends at this line. So that's what the parallel tool does. And then, oh, and also, I'm in mountain mode right now. If I try that again, but I click valley, it will do that, but with the valley fold. So let's say I click here, maybe parallel to this guy, and then to there. Now I drew a valley. So yeah, although usually I would just draw them all in mountain and then press C, change them later. Anyway, so then here's our reflector tool, which is you can use R. Let me just draw some more convenient stuff. So, oh, how about that? So what the reflector tool does is it you pick 3 points. So you press, these are the first one. So the first 2 points select the line that's going to be reflected. And then here's a vertex. And now you select over which line are you reflecting. So if I want to reflect over this guy, I can press over here, and you see that it reflects all the way up until it hits something. But let's say I wanted to reflect this 45-degree line over this vertical one. So I had 1, 2, 3, and now it flips over here all the way up until meeting there. So that's the reflector tool, also pretty handy. And this one is like the reflector tool on steroids, although sometimes it doesn't work. It's kind of a weird setup. I can try. Let's see if we can get something. Oh yeah, so it's as if I had folded through all the layers, kind of. Anyways, might not be apparent what it's doing, but it might be more obvious later. Sometimes it doesn't work, but when it does, it's pretty handy. It's basically like if I want to take this crease, and then I want to make a copy of it somewhere else, parallel to it. So what I can do is this line will basically, however long this line is, will be how far away this copy is. So the purple lines, one of them is going to be my copy, so I'm going to choose it. So let's say I want it to be 2 units away. Then I can take this guy, and that's my copy. And by the way, to test how long they are, you can go down to L, press L1. How long is it from here to there? And it says 2 units, so that's what we were doing down here. You can also measure angles. So I would expect this to be 45. And yeah, or negative 45, same thing. We did the grid. This one is for this thing. Oh, this one's nice. So what this one will do is it'll divide line segments for you. So let's say I want to divide a line segment into thirds. So I press 3, set, and then I take this thing. So now I can go, how long is this? And then drag over it. And now it has three equal points. So now I can go, like this or something. And it doesn't have to be on an existing line. Pretty sure you can just make a new line. That divided by thirds, and we're good. Okay. Oh, and then it made another one. And of course you can change it to whatever you want, maybe 10. There might be a limit. This one is it's kind of like a reflector tool, but it will do a bunch of them at the same time. So let's say this crease has a line. So I can say everything on this crease, anything that's connected to it is going to go to the other side. So this guy was the only one connected to it, so it went to the other side, which might not look like much, but if I have a bunch, so let's say I had, let's say I had like a bunch of, hold on. Anyways, you see the point? You see what I mean, kind of? Let's say I just had a bunch of stuff sticking off of it. Then I can go to here, and then say all of that is going to the other side. And there we go. So all of these guys were reflected over. So this can be handy sometimes. Just as long as you know how to use the tools. Now here's the selection. So select, I can, everything in the box turns green. And I can unselect things. And of course you can click them one at a time. But I like to drag the box. Move, I think. Move them around. Yeah, so let's select this mess, move, and then go down one. That. Okay, clean slate. Now let's do this. This is the mirror one, which we'll be using. Um, although sometimes it kind of makes me want to. No, never mind. So let's just draw some stuff. Um, yeah. Haha. Okay. Let's select them all, and then this one you select 2 points. That's going to reflect over. So if I want to reflect them over the diagonal, I select 2 points, and then they flip over. So that can be save some time. You only have to draw half the crease pattern, and then once you're done, you just flip it over, and you're all done. Select. Another thing you can do with the select tool. Actually, let me just undelete them. You can do the DSL as delete selected lines, which isn't that handy because you can just just do the right click box and delete stuff. But let's say I want to select them and then DSL, they're all gone. These three are your erasers. So this one will only erase the black lines, so the cut edges. So if I go like this, all the red lines are in the box, but only the black one gets erased. And then this one erases everything, or except the edges. So if I go like that, all the red, oh, I guess it does, erases everything then, even though it's not in the picture. This is Auxilary, so I used it earlier. So let's say I have a bunch of, I have a bunch of stuff, and I also have an Auxilary. Let's see, and then Auxilary, and Auxilary here. I want to delete it in the other auxiliaries, but I don't. I want to keep my mountain valleys. I can just use the auxiliary eraser. I could erase the whole thing, and it's okay. Also, how do I get my edge back? Okay, so here's how I can get my edge back. So I can draw something, maybe, oh, let's just say mountain. And then we can press this. So these three are your converters. So anything I put in here will convert to mountain. So including the edge. Anything in here will convert to valley. And then anything here will convert to edge. So, and of course this one you can guess will convert things into auxiliary. Then there's this one. This is the swapper, so we learned that. You can press C, it's really handy. This guy, I don't know why you would use this, but you can. It toggles, so it goes from edge to mountain to valley, so I don't know why you'd use that, but you could. And then we did this one. These are the vertices. This guy will move these guys clean up. Actually, all these clean up. I think this one will alternate things. Yeah, so anything down the line will be alternated, which is kind of like what we were doing with the C, and then we make a box like that to swap everything. But this works too, so whatever. Grid sizes, we did that. Toggle the grid on and off. We did these more folding options. Okay. Now we can venture over here. So most of these you're not going to be using, but these tools are pretty good for 22.5, which we are going to be drawing one in a little bit just for practice, and we'll use some of them. And if you don't, and also by default it's setting for helping you draw 22.5 piece patterns, but once in a blue moon you want to draw like a hex pleated maybe, or I've seen some people push in the forefront of like tilted grids and what else? Like the 30-degree crease patterns, which I don't know how to do those, but you would change the settings here somewhere. For now, I'm just going to leave them alone, and then okay, here's one that's nice and easy. Is that it will form a regular polygon, so you just draw the top side, and then it will make your polygon. If you would want more sides, you can make that set, and then there we go. Not super helpful, but if you ever need it, there it is. Okay, these two are basically the same thing. So this one, you select, or actually here, this one you select 2 points. Now, looks kind of intimidating, but all the ways you could connect, so I could connect in 22.5 degree intervals. You see that? 22.5 degree intervals. So let's say these points are going to connect like that. There we go. And then everything else disappears. This one is basically the same thing, but instead of connecting 2 points, you just click the line in between. Maybe they go like that. So as you can tell, this would be really handy for 22.5. This one, yeah, so this one, so this green guy over here, you just draw new lines, but you see it's snapping in increments of 22.5, and you just select how long it goes. So maybe I wanted to go up to this point. It doesn't like that because it's not in an angle. So this will make sure that you're not at like 22.4 degrees, so it's snapping. This guy is kind of whack. So this guy the first point tells you how long. So the second point is the one that really matters. The first point is just however far away it is, that's how long the creases are. And then we can pick one. Here we are. And then how far does it go to? So actually, this first point doesn't really matter at all. So this guy's kind of like with the bisector and the perpendicular, where you set a point and then how far away does it go. Oh, actually, now I remember. This first point does it. If you're like tilted a little bit, if you're on a tilted grid maybe, because now if we go like that, now it's not perfectly on the thing. It's rotated, this many degrees. So that's why someone might find it helpful. But most of the time, you won't be using that. And then this one is basically the same thing. Yeah, something like that. Okay, let's clear it up. Okay. Now, even less used is the circles. So this one's simple. You just make a circle, and now circles don't lie on creases, right? You can't fold. This is not going to lie flat. So that's why they're always auxiliary, and I don't think you can change them in mountain. I don't think. Yeah, I'm pretty sure you can't. Yeah, so they're just stuck as auxiliary. And then there's just multiple ways to draw it. So this one, this one will lie on the grid points. This one won't. So if I try to say like, oh, I wanted half a grid, it won't like it. But this one will be okay with it. So that's the same thing as these two, but for circles. Then this guy, you set the point, and then you choose the radius somewhere else. So I want the radius to be this long, and you see, it's the same thing. I could have done it this way, but sometimes if you have your measurement is somewhere else on the crease pattern, that could be handy. Then this is your concentric, so I pick a circle, and then I highlighted it, and then now I say how much bigger is the radius. So if I want the radius to be 1 unit bigger, I can draw the radius over here. And remember, it doesn't matter this angle, it's just the radius, just the length. Tangent circles, you pick two, tell you all the tangents. Sometimes there's more than two, sometimes there's like 4, and then you can pick this one, and then now it became a line. These others don't really matter too much. This one, pick 3 points, it'll make a circle for you. Easy. One more thing, if you care, this you can select the color of your circles. It doesn't really. Let's make them pink. And then now we can make our circles pink. It doesn't mean anything. Then these guys is like a completely different species of auxiliary. So if you ever need that, you can draw in your yellow auxiliaries. And these are whack, and then these are whack because it's like completely separate. Like the line thickness of this guy is different from the line thickness of this one. So you can have super thin mountains and regular auxiliaries, but and have super thick these guys. So I don't know why. And even the undo button is different. This button will not bring back my yellow guy. And then this is the eraser for yellow. Okay, and we went over these. So these these will help you measure lengths and angles. We went over this. I think that's it. So then now we can do an example crease pattern after this. I need some water. All right, let's I know that was a lot. That was a lot of tools that we have. So let's go ahead and do an example one. So Let's draw a 22.5. So let's go back in here. I found a good one earlier. It was Gen Hagiwara, and it was the rabbit. So and these are publicly available, right? So if the crease pattern is posted on Flickr or something, then someone added it in here, and it's public anyways. You would have been able to find it. It's just easier to find. But yeah. Anyway, so let's just go ahead and draw this in. So first thing is the reference. So the reference here is just a kite base, just like that. What I'm actually going to do for this crease pattern is I'm going to draw just this bottom half. Then at the end, I'll select it all and reflect it over. So let's go ahead and draw this in. So let's turn off the grid. We don't really need grid. So first thing is angle bisector. So we need to make our kite base. So let's press B or go to this one, and then click on the point. So second point is the vertex. It goes, and then how far does it go? We want it to go up to there. There we go. Let's see now where we at. Now we want this horizontal line. So how do we do that? We can press the perpendicular, or sorry, perpendicular. This point over here. All right, and now let's actually draw this. I want a regular line. We can delete this. All right, what's next? So now this is our point. How do we draw this line? This 45-degree angle line. Whoa, hold on. Okay, so I just scrolled up, or I swiped up on the mouse pad, and you see it does that. It's kind of wild. So be careful with that. First time I opened up Orihime, I accidentally did that, and I didn't know about this button, and I just kind of lost. Couldn't do anything. So don't do that. All right. Now let's angle bisect this. So we need a 45-degree angle. We could, if we had a grid, we could do that, but it's not on the grid. So let's go back and grab a bisector again. So half of a 90-degree goes down there. Now what's cool is we can do these two lines with the tool over here. So we don't have a line connecting them yet. We don't need one. So just grab 2 points. So we select these 2 points. And now we want this yellow line. We also want that other line, this green one, I think. Yeah, so see, we just drew these two, or this set. And as I said, I don't know if I said it already, but we're going to use all of these are just going to be mountain for now, and then at the end we'll go in, turn on the checker, and then make things valleys appropriately. What's next? Here's a rabbit ear. So let's go take a rabbit ear tool. Easy. What's next? Oh, here's a perpendicular line. So let's go ahead and draw that in, and then delete the extra. We can look at it two at once. Okay, it looks like this one is perpendicular to there, to the main diagonal. So click perpendicular, and delete the extra. Now, I don't know what angle this is. I'm guessing it's 25, but what I do know is it's going to make it flatfoldable. So here we have a vertex with an odd number of creases. So that's a perfect time to use this thing. Click, and then to confirm the purple, we click there, and we can extend it all the way down to the crease. So use the extend button. Click the crease, extend how far? Up to the edge. There we go. Let me delete the extra vertices, so this doesn't do anything. So there it is. Select. Oops. So now it reflected over this thing because I selected the 2 points. Now I can do my rabbit ear. Then I'll clear these out because we'll put them back later. What is this? This looks like it bisects this line. So let's turn on the bisector, line bisector, and we go from here to there. And that drops a point halfway down. Then we can do our perpendicular from here and the point. Easy. Alright, now let's go ahead and take a look at this head region. I always like head. Now let's look like we can kind of make two rabbit ears. So this looks like a rabbit ear kind of. Actually, no. What are we doing? Let's use this tool again. This is a handy tool. Maybe let's use this one. So remember, select the line that connects the 2 points. So that's right here. And we see these valleys are represented by these orange. Or yeah. So click, and we got it in. And we see we kind of have the same thing up here. So let's do the same thing. Oh, whoa, whoa. Hold up. Escape. Escape? No? Okay. There it is. And we want this right there. Click the intersection. That's pretty good. And now let's connect them. So connect. Why don't we use, with this line, it's going to make this flatfoldable. So we could just do that. So there's a number of ways we could draw these in. Now delete the extras. Confirm. Delete the extras. Now let's extend them to meet. So extend. And then we can clear out the vertices. Well, why not? Yeah, clear out the vertices. And now they connect to this point. So what else do we have? We have, does this have a reference? I don't think it does. Actually, let's go ahead and do this one. So we need to make this central point we need it flat foldable. So let's use this. And confirm, delete the extras. Oh. Okay, now watch this. So you see how this one is darker? That's because there's actually 2 vertices on top of it. And if you're not careful, it will over time things will get worse for you. Like if I tried, let's say I tried to connect, well, I want to connect here to this point, and it actually connects to the baby point, like the little extra thing, then that'll cause problems. So when we zoom in, we'll see that see this little line sticking off. So we need to delete that. There we go. And then now to make sure, clear the vertices. Okay. Now here is where this tool would work. Although I don't know why it doesn't like to. Oh yeah, there it is. Yeah. Although it didn't do it correctly, it did it wrong. But you see it kind of folded through the layers, so that's not what we wanted, but it's the right idea. So let's see let me try one more time. If not, we can brute force it. Yeah, we can. But anyways, let's use the reflector tool. So I want to take this line and reflect it over this line. Great. Now I want to take this line. Now I want to reflect it over this line. So now this line, and reflect it over this line. We could actually even go like here. It doesn't make a difference. And this line, sure, why not? We want this line reflecting. And there we are. And oh, we need this mountain here to make it flat foldable. So perpendicular. Now all we gotta do is just finish up the head and we're good to go. So is there a reference? I don't think there is. Right? So what can we do? Why don't we just, I'll just say that's about 1/3 of the way down. So let's set this to 3. There's a lot of ways you could do this. Here's just the way I thought of it. It's in your toolkit. Then we can do perpendicular to the main diagonal. Delete the extras. Now this is perpendicular over here. Now we could use the flat foldability tool to get this last line, or we can use the parallel tool, which we haven't used yet. So it starts at this point, it's parallel to this line, and it runs to this line. And there we go. Now let's let's start making things flat foldable by using valleys. Okay, so let's turn on this, and you see they're all unhappy. So let's just go ahead and start filling in what's a value, what's not. So I'm going to press C. I'm just going to go one by one. And you see that as they match, I'm matching them here. I'm not doing this in my head. I'm just matching them. And then as we do that, they start to turn more happy. Yeah, and so we know we've done a good job when the only unhappy ones are on the edge, which we would kind of expect because they're missing stuff on the other side, which we're about to fix. So now, here's the thing. So when I'm about to select them and reflect it over, but you see how the selector is in a box, right? So if I select it like that, I could select it like this. I could do that. But let me just show you another trick. So let me unselect these. What we can do is we can turn it 45 degrees. Because like let's say I had other stuff over here that I didn't want. 45 degrees set. Get it in range, or get it in the frame. And now I can select it parallel to this line. So everything can be more precise. Everything up to the line. And then select 2 points that will form my line of symmetry. So just any 2 points on this main line, and done. What's wrong? This guy. Oh. Yeah. So let me reset this. Okay. And we see we have this thing on, but there's no pink dots, so that means we're flat foldable. Let's give it a try. And we did it. Look at that. So, so you might notice that this crease pattern is kind of weird because they reversed mountain valley, or it's folded upside down or something like that. So that's why it's showing us the backside. I know it doesn't look like a rabbit, but when you shape it, it's actually not. It's not too bad. You can encourage you all to give it a try. Go fold this after the video. And then we can change our back color. Let's make him pink. Our front color isn't showing, so it doesn't do anything. Oh, I forgot to mention, this AA, which is line depth. You can flip it over. If you flip it twice, it'll show you both sides. If you keep flipping, it'll show you this one also, and then it'll reset. So that's not a bug, it's a feature. You can also change it. I want to see it this way. So now it tells you like this spot right here is the most thick, and then like this spot over here is the most thin, right? Or it can go here where it doesn't show thickness, but it does show the mountains and the valleys as they get folded, and the paper edge. So there's a paper edge going that way. Hopefully that helped clear it up, because for a while I was missing out on Oripa because it just looked so hard to use. But then my friend nicknamed Burb, he showed me how to use it in like a Discord VC in like one day, and then right after that it made so much more sense. So I'm really grateful for him, and hopefully that this video kind of does the same to help you all learn this too. Alright, see you later.